never waking up. I ain't never waking up. I ain't never waking up. Yeah, I ain't never waking up. Yeah, I ain't never waking up. I'm a Merc, Auto Perk. If you're not here, grab a wheel, look at the view. Hope we gon' live. Hope all you doing good as always. I see you, Raj. Womp womp, Brug Burger. I start my shit at 20, man. I'm a bit early. For me and Raj. Aren't you Raj? Fuck you, me. You're welcome. Thanks. But shout out to Tallinn, Estonia. Shout out to Brisbane, Australia. Shout out to Tammsalu, Estonia. Shout out to Martu, Estonia. Shout out to Keila, Estonia. Damn. Estonia going crazy. Almost the whole board is Estonia. This is my top listeners locations. A lot of listeners from Estonia. Straight up. Appreciate all the support, you know? Alright. I'll take it. 7 hearts, 1 bookmark. Of course, crying. Nah, bro, not really. You remind me of Slim Jesus. You know what? I'll take it as a compliment, cause I am fat. So appreciate the compliment. Maybe because you're trying to be them. Yeah, cause I'm trying to be Lil Peep and Juice WRLD. Fun fact, I don't like any, or I don't listen to any Lil Peep music. Actually, I do listen to one. The one with X. But still though. Excuses to hate on an underrated rapper. I don't care, bro. Just cause I have a deep voice naturally and my favorite rapper is Juice WRLD equals me copying him. I don't care, bro. Hey, it is what it is. Hey. It is what it is. Brug Burger. Oh, wow. I bet there are a lot of listeners from Iraq, too. I mean, there are some listeners from Iraq, but not a lot, though. Ever heard of Northland? Maybe? Sounds familiar. Huh? Apparently it's a wine region. L wine. It's in New Zealand. CK meets RimWorld? What? Oh, it's a game. Apparently it's a real place.
This is the story of
Oh,
a band
Norland?
of brave heroes whom fate once united. Jan, a proud Viking in the discovery.
Wait, why am I looking at here? Wait, that might leak some shit. No, I haven't heard of this. Similar games, RimWorld and CK3. Does it have a modding community? It's early access.
Nearly 200 years have passed since the end of the devastating religious war. The empire fell, and its former provinces eventually became barbarian kingdoms. Can your dynasty unite the kingdoms and halt the advance
Wait,
of
that
the
is
Dark
kind of cool.
Ages?
Can you play as Vikings and pillage people? I'll be down, even if no mods. What is? No, bro. What? There's sex in the game. Hey yo. No, Vikings are a thing. Oh, they are a thing. Like Mongols and CK. Unstoppable. Oh, they're a thing, but you can't play as them. If there's a mod, I'm 100% getting this. If it has a modding community. Cause mods make everything better. I do like the whole map movement. I said it best.
From this moment
Definitely
on,
interesting though.
history is written by you.
Doesn't die in this game, yeah. Well, let me Google. Maybe they talked about modding. Have mods. Okay, I'm 100% getting the game. Definitely planned for mods. Okay, I'm definitely getting the game. Wishlist. I already wishlisted it. Is it their first developer, right? Not publisher. It is their first game. That is a fire first game. And their logo is fire running. Okay. What is the publisher though? No need to thank you? Okay. Bet. What games the publisher had? Oh, Manor Lords? Okay, okay. Clan Folk as well. W publisher. You was kidding? Well, too late. I took it seriously. Bro, I don't have Civ 7. Let's see what this game's about. Old school app. What? The fuck is volume? Oh, it's sound. This is music. Far Cry 2? No. Maybe something like that. What the fuck? Display setup. Yo. Alright. I guess the first one. Normal. They say it all about tearing you down. Destroy your ego, soldier. Paint. What? How am I supposed to read that in that time? Are you serious? Brother, that's impossible to read. Screenshot? Okay, bro. Hello? Duke's missing. He's on assignment in Colombia. Duke Dennis? It's me. What? Straight arrow like her. Damn it, Ellen, shut up and listen to me. Alright. So he's gone AWOL again. You know how that's the Lieutenant Rain way. Don't you, Private Nielsen? Disappear when we need you. Show up at the... Brother. By the book. That's how he always wanted it to go. But it almost never did. So what's happened? That was a hard one today, kid. Pause. Just skip. No, that's how they intended to read. We couldn't get them out in time. We were so close. I was so close. You played it by the book. A few more minutes and Nielsen wouldn't have had those snipers in place. Just a few more fucking... Consult your clock. That's not how time works. Okay. Fuck his skin, bro. Consult your clock. That's not how time works. Wise words.
All right, Alan, listen up. Russian nationals
What
have
the
taken control
fuck?
of the surrounding city blocks. Your team is pinned down on the other side of this building. You should meet minimal resistance on your way over to them. You should find some supplies nearby. Stay frosty and good luck.
Stay frosty.
Zone C, clear.
Zoom Z, clear. Pussy boy. What the fuck? In your mind? What was that?
Zone B, clear.
Zombie, clear.
Zone A, clear.
Zone A, clear. Of course, beer heals me.
Zone B, clear.
Zone B, clear.
Zone C.
Where is
Zone
suka,
A, clear.
блядь,
Zone
There's a
C,
distracted guy
clear.
up ahead. Sneak up behind him while he's not
Zone
paying
C,
attention
clear.
to perform a stealth takedown.
bitch. Fuck. Man. Give me that. Yeah.
Zone A, clear. Zone B,
Good
clear.
luck.
Zone B, clear. Zone B, clear.
You're still heard? Well, did you understand what I was talking about? No.
Wake the fuck up!
Wake the fuck up. Oh yeah. Whose car is parallel parking?
That room is full of nationals. You can improve your accuracy while aiming down sights. Don't forget to aim for their head too.
Real shit, huh? What the fuck? How am I dying? Shooting through walls is crazy. Zone B clear. What? Bro, I'm out of ammo. Like 5. Bro, I got 15 bullets. I'm cooked. Are you serious? This is not my ammunition? No, I'm cooked. This is how we do action in Uganda. Yeah, will I press 3? I can't go to arms. Yeah, brother. You think you're smart? You're not that smart, brother. I can't pick up these ammo. I'm so fast, it's insane. I got speed hacks at this point. For grenades. That looked like perfect for some hidden shit, but okay. Pussy boy. Pussy boy. Y'all getting cooked. They don't see it coming. Ooh, headshot.
Press the bandage key to recover some health.
We got bent. Oh. Appreciate that. Could have told me that early. But alright. Armor. Oh yeah. So smart either. Bro, the game literally forgot to tell me. Fuck you mean? Where are we even going? You end this with your team. Where the fuck is my team? Fuck. It was? I didn't see no F. Bye. I'm almost out of ammo. That's not good. What the fuck?
Looks like the insurgents have taken control of the hotel. Use your squad to maximize your effectiveness in clearing them out.
My
Press the
squad.
command key to cycle their orders or send them to a point in the world. Listen for their callouts and work as a team.
Engage the enemy. Get down. Fall back.
Follow me. Sup, gang?
Zone C clear.
Engage the enemy.
Engage.
Enemies are here.
Engaging target.
Get these hoes. Suka biets. I'm out of ammo. I'm out of ammo. You better kill him.
Reload.
Oh shit. I can't run forever. Thought I could run forever. Wait, is this in one game? I don't know.
Engaging target.
I'm about to die!
Enemy down.
Does E do quick? What? E does nothing. Aggressive, man. Come on. Fuck y'all doing?
Follow me.
Copy that.
Engage the enemy.
Copy that.
Roosh! I'm out of ammo. Shitty team, man. Bro, my teammates are dog shit. Can y'all fucking push? Old AI, yo. Aggressive, but they're here. Can I get something? I need ammo, health, or something. Okay, there we go. Are you serious? I can't pick this shit up? No, I'm cooked. What?
Kill confirmed.
Who y'all shooting? Bro, I got no ammo. I mean health. If I run, I'm cooked. Bro, what is my team doing?
Fall back.
Target spotted.
Engage the enemy.
Roger. Copy that.
There we go. There we go. Bro, I got 27 health. Bro, my homies have 392 health and 400 health and 400 health. Can y'all just fucking rush? Like, oh, I can do this. I forgot. I forgot I can heal. No, but still though. Like, they're doing shit. They're doing fuck all. Meanwhile, I'm barely surviving in here. Survival 101, yeah. Yeah, they're bugged the fuck out. Bro, I hear my homies just bugging the fuck out. And I'm out of ammo. I'm out of ammo. Did not mean to do that. And this is not my ammo. What's the story again? I couldn't read. GG. Like, can I get ammo? Damn! I gotta switch to my fucking pistol. Bro, that is so far away. Wait, I can't even go there. No, I'm actually cooked. Tell me, why can't I have a pistol and my SM4 at the same time? It's bullshit. Can my homies at least kill them? What the fuck? Game files? No?
Holding position.
How the fuck I do that? Oh, that was not an enemy.
Holding position.
Well, I'm out of ammo. That's a homie. Thanks for you tell me. Brother, I can't. Game safe, I'll edit it. Rug burger, man. Kill him, bro. What the fuck are you doing? Brother, he's right there. He's literally...
Fall back. Engage the enemy.
Affirmative.
health.
Advancing.
Medic!
Bro, what are you doing?
Cover me.
Shoot back.
Cover me.
That broke off 400 health and he about to die. Wait, I just realized you can break them.
Engaging target. Cover me. Advancing.
Like bro just jumping on him.
I'm hit. Target.
Oh, now you kill him.
I'm hit.
Now you kill him. Thanks, bro.
All right, Alan, listen up. Russian nationals have taken control of the surrounding city
Where the
blocks.
fuck was
Your
this
team is
weapon
pinned down on
before?
the other side of this building. You should meet minimal resistance on your way over to them. You should find some supplies nearby. Stay frosty and good luck.
Zone B clear.
Zone B clear.
Zone C clear.
Zone C clear.
Zone A clear.
Zone A clear.
Clear.
Wait, I'm literally starting all over again.
Zone A clear.
I can't take a shit.
Zone A clear.
There's a distracted guy up ahead. Sneak up behind him while he's not paying attention to perform a stealth takedown.
Now keep this. There's so many ammunition for a gun.
That room is full of nationals. You
Zone
can
B
improve your
clear.
accuracy while aiming down sights. Don't forget to aim for the head too.
Zone C clear. Zone C clear.
I see you. Come on, man. That's a good gun. Where were you before? What the fuck? I needed this gun my whole life, man. Like, damn. They're too dumb to get me over here. It's better than the last gun, MP5. No, it was MP4. Or MS4. I think it was MS4. Okay, bro, this gun is so good. What?
Zone C, clear.
Zone C clear.
Looks like the insurgents have taken control of the hotel. Use your squad to maximize your effectiveness in clearing them out. Press the command key to
I don't
cycle
need
their
no
orders
squad.
or send them to a point in the world. Listen for their callouts and work as a team.
Your back.
Kill confirmed. Spotted.
Rat's gameplay.
Zone
Rat's
C,
POV.
clear.
Engaging target.
Rat POV. Where?
No ammo.
No ammo. Oh.
Enemy spotted.
Oh, now we get a shotgun too. Ah, bitch. Ooh, spicy meatball. I'll use it. Ooh. Spicy. Yo, I fuck with the shotgun. Fuck with the shotgun. That was the last level. Bro, I was so close and I died. Alright, so the short version is that our former commanding officer has gone missing. Lieutenant Ryan was previously stationed in Colombia. It's been a long time since we were last together. Maybe we all have our differences, but I think he was important enough to us. The only one who would object is the one with another promotion and the horizon. You gotta be up for sergeant soon, eh? Oh wow. I read all that. Don't give me that shit. Just because you washed out doesn't mean we all had to. Knock it off. This isn't why we're here. Oh wow. I didn't call you because the team needs a douchebag. All I called you because we need to. You want. I talked to some gang leaders in Buenaventura, and they say that the cartel Duke was investigating had a new street drug that was shaking up the club scene. A lot of people overdosing enough that gangs wanted to stop selling. That sounds like him, alright? Yeah. Bro, this shit moving too fast. We were going to Colombia to pick up where he left off. It has been compromised. No one else is going to get him out. I am in. Yo, mama. Oh, I'll stop. Just the speed and settings. I don't think you can do that. Boy, that's a lot of guns. A chicken for every pot a gun. What? It looks like they're moving shipments in. If we could get to Castillo. Wait, we're going after a drug lord now? If that's what it takes. I can change the speed. Oh, you can even have faster? Why would you ever put it on faster? Oh, off.
Copy that.
We keep the guns. Yeah, probably. Shotgun time. Do the bushes help? Where the fuck? Oh. We're full. Fuck, that looks so sus. Wait, where the fuck are we going? The fuck? They're with me. Is that an enemy?
Zona assegurada. Quasi aqui não é meio. Nas velas. I'm hit. I'm hit. I'm hit.
has a limited health. He has a limited health. Wow, they're cheating. Where's my unlimited health? The fuck is this? Bro. What? Damn, bro.
Engaging target.
Cover enemies, yeah.
Too easy.
Where am I? Oh. I need armor.
Parce, no seas marica, está claro. Parce, no seas marica, está claro.
Enemy spotted.
I think the key is to be hidden. Okay, that's too small.
Target spotted.
Story of my life. Okay. I'm hitting him, bro. What the fuck?
Target spotted.
How they shoot me? It says I'm hidden.
Target spotted.
Granata. Nah, AK is way trash. The recoil is insane.
Parce, no seas marica, está claro.
Está claro, está claro. Gotcha, bitch. Nice to know you. What? Is that what he said?
Enemy down.
Good kill. Actually useful for once. Another granata. Wait, let me see how a grenade works. That killed me! What the fuck? It works fine. Yeah, the radius is insane. What the fuck? That's not a grenade radius. The fuck? Nah, bro.
Affirmative.
I should have saved though. I didn't know I could save scum in this game. Bro. The whole time I could have saved scum. Actually, not a bad game though. That shit was for free. You brain cancer. Alright, another game that's been requested. The Savior from Above. Let's see what that is. Sounds religious. Mouse and keyboard. I always play Jesus Christ to video game. Wait, that's a thing? Huh. Guess that's it. Full screen. What? Sure. Wait, maybe I've actually heard about it. Have I heard about it? Oh, I have. But that shit was so boring. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, buddy. Sure you are. WASD to steer. That's the whole game? Can I at least shoot? I can't shoot. That's it. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna play this game. Let's see how long can I survive. What? The fuck is this? Flashbang. Marcus White? What? Yeah. You just now realized. Oh, there's more to this game. I thought that was the whole game. I'm using W to jump, but okay. Guess they lied to me. There's no soundtrack playing. Is this a walking sim? Dear ghosts. Oh wow. What? What? Guests are coming. Oh, you got guests. Hey, Raj, though. Appreciate you being here, man. Normally you don't join this early. Bye. Peace out, man. I assume I gotta bring something there, but I can't bring shit, though. Nah, I hate puzzles. I'm good. I hate puzzles. This is straight up getting deleted. Uninstall. A.W.O.L, I didn't mind A.W.O.L actually. Not a bad game. What is this? The deepest sword. Pause. AD to move. I see. Uh-huh. Playtime. I'm stabbing it though. Brother. Is it even in? What? Hey yo. Wait, I got a bigger sword. What the fuck? The more I die, the bigger sword I get. What is this? Bro, this shit too big. Pause. I got it in it. Can I just go through here? No. Brother, what? Pause on that. Deeper and deeper. Nah, it's a rage game. I don't like that shit either. Nah, bro. U voglio nalaz. Mila Sajkov. Erg min igår. Ma siis jäta mulle.
No mis nii kaua siis seisis?
Mul teises.
Teisi asju lihtsalt.
Jah, küll ma ei olnud siis.
Niimoodi saab otsa, kui ei juurde.
Aga ostsid mulle?
Nojah.
Noh.
Seisab, siis ükskord ei ole. Ja et lahti ei keera.
Jah.
Panin endale valmis sinna.
Siis... Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. This game ain't for me, bro. I don't like rage games, bro. I'll maybe play rage games if I'm allowed to rage. But I'm not allowed to rage, so rage game is pretty pointless to me. Battle 04. Wesnoth? This is in Estonian. What the fuck? This is in English though. Oh. Oh, my ears. Bro, this shit loud as fuck. Where can I? That's still like I don't like that sound. There you go. Password. What the fuck? We're gonna change the language because I don't want to play in Estonian. Y'all have no clue what you're seeing. I'm surprised I got Estonian. Honestly, where can I change the language? Bro, I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any language change. Half of them are in English though. I don't know why. Now, where can I change? Oh, there you go. 100%. US, gotta go with US. America. I don't need this shit, bro. Alright. Battle training. A tale of two brothers, the South Korea. Liberty. Of Throne. There's so much. The Hammer of Thor. Descent into Darkness. That sounds great. Eastern Invasion. Dead Water. Could be interesting. Furry shit. Of Ancients. Alright, let's start with the first interesting one we saw. Descent into Darkness. This one? The frontier town of Pren is raided by neighbor tribe of orcs. Mainland Kashara, Kazmages seek to defend home. It means necessary. It means sacrificing his own soul in the process. It was RNG. Oh, brother. Reading. Malain Kishar was born 10 years after the death of Haldrick the Fourth. He grew up in the northern border town of Parthrin, the second child and eldest son of the city Baron. Every summer, by the time the mountainous paths and high uh, passes shed their wintry uh, gowns of snow, orcs descended from the northern hills to raid the settlements at the frontier. Every year, Mayland father led the townfolk to repel and the raids and force the orcs to retreat back to the north. When Merlin was 10, a passing mage sensed strong magical abilities in the boy. As suggested, he be sent into the Isle of A.W.O.L for training in the magical arts. Mailing studied there for 8 years, learning all manner of magic from basic control over the elements to the mystic arts and scrying to alchemy and simple medicine. Bro, I wanna. Should I skip it? Although his life on Alduin was luxurious and peaceful, mainly found the teaching of the scholarly mages to be too philosophical for his tastes. His thoughts turned back to Parthen, where more practical mages were necessary to drive off the orcs. Mainly began to research these magics on his own, but his lack of patience and general indiscretion eventually led to several confrontations with his teachers and other students. Believing Malin to be too reckless, the mages expelled him from Alduin. When Malin returned, y'all just have to pause and read, bro, cause like I'm good. I'm good, bro. Like, why can't you have, like, at least have a TTS? At least have a TTS, my guy. Oh. What? Hello? You really think it was a good idea to send out a raiding party right after the orcs just attacked us? Father isn't even here with us anymore. Nor is Dark and Volk. We are truly defenseless. Not like we ever need him. No way we're trusting a necromancer. Quite barrack-in Utah, with most of them orcs dead now. Their camps will be lots weaker. Our raiders will clear them out and leave us a quiet summer. Huh? So much for quiet. Dorgan orcs, a month north of the river. What? Curses. Why be there still so many of them? Well, you sent out of a bunch of soldiers before we even started to fix the city walls. You melon, you gotta hold that river fort or they'll overrun us. The raiding party should be back in 2 days to help us fight them off. For now, I'll send that remaining guards to help ya. I can't say it. Oh, it's a turn-based game? Okay. I thought that was like real-time based. How do I move? I move by a cursor? Oh, we can't even go left, right? That's pretty much it. The fuck are you? Do you like... Do I send you to fucking... work? Like, what do I do with you? What? I can't move. Do I build something? Probably should have done a tutorial. Ew, what the fuck? How do I spawn? Oh, recruit.
Yeah. The necromancy.
What in the blazes is that thing? Has the necromancer returned already? Here's Timon. Could it be any worse? No, Dogan, I raised the corpse with the skill of dark and woke. Dang it, what? Told me before he left. I have no love for it, but we need to take action. We'll never be able to repel the orcs. Yeah, he had guests. I'm afraid of you, Mullen. Even if it ensure our survival, nothing good ever comes of necromancy. Man, shut up, bro. Necromancy on top. Almost charging. Alright. How are you, though? I'm doing normal as always. You use it. You already sold your soul to black magic. What? I'm hardly evil, Drogon. Yeah, say that, but you've been very quiet about what the mages sent you home from Alduin. I'm beginning to think you were already dabbling in this witchcraft even before you met that necromancer. No, it was something stupid, something silly. It doesn't not matter now. I'll not stand by and allow the orcs destroy my home while I have the power to prevent them. Prayed. History of modern day Japan. New record on turn. Made like 1,200 somewhat turns. From the Empire had a lot of annoying enemies. Yeah, I could imagine. But that's cool. How much money we got? Oh, we got a lot of money. Can I just randomly? Oh, I think they can only attack from here. Looks like I can't move anyone else on the left side. I think that just help. You should probably go there since you're a shooter. Yes, yes. Rise, my minions. Rise. Beautiful. After the truce was over, it's for you too. You beat them all and has an army like... Oh wow. Good shit. Rise. I'm just spamming corpses. Okay. Hey, if the game got necromancy, I'll fuck with it. It was very powerful. You kept your investments at 50%. And then consumer goods at 25. All the time low taxes. Did it in a hard mode. Damn, good shit. I think I've always played normal. Feels like 100k something. Good shit. So Brazil from Kingdom of Brazil. Nice. Rise. From the dead. Uh-oh. I don't got enough shits anymore. Russia and China had a long ass war and the peace still no different. Wait, what? They had a war and nothing changed? Long ass. Oof. No, my zombies. Weak as hell. Damn. Play China next. Also found out a bug which is easy to make. Huh. Damn, what the fuck? I ain't doing like no damage. Fuck is this shit? To have all the land to form the empire, you play the game, close the game, and open it again. Empire button. Empire was unlocked. Alright. Javelin. Oh, I do that, then I don't get attacked with that. Man. Man, what the fuck is this? New Zealand as a puppet? Do we need to have all that to force him to be your puppet? The weak as hell. After a long time, you demanded annexing and got it. Nice. We got one of them though. Good shit, gang. Nice. Also for the meme, you made all Korea into farmland factories. Maxed out farm. Okay. How you miss 80%? No food? I guess. Nah, you gotta be there. Side. Good shit. Good shit. Man. No aim at all. You shall get him for me. They're always interesting. Okay, at least something. What was that? How they got healed? Oh, there's on my way, bro. You can't do shit. Might as well. So close. When you are. Good shit. Okay. Saved. New Twitch emote. Ready to beat my meat. Alright. Hey, at least it got something decent this time. What? Did they forgo audio? I'm not. What? The fuck? No, the fuck? What? Wait, how? No, this on me somehow. That didn't have any audio too. What the fuck? My shit is fucked. Oh wait.
We're so far.
I'm good. Somehow, I don't know how, but I unmuted the whole site.
Away from the American dream that it's hard to believe it ever really existed. It used to be a simple formula. If you got a good education and worked hard at your job, you'd have enough left over to support a family and see you through to the
Never
end.
retire.
Today it's all fallen apart. Forgetting owning a home you'd be proud of or building anything meaningful. You'll be lucky to even retire at all. Over the past few decades, every single part of the American dream has been stripped away. So let's find out how it happened and why you'll probably never get to retire and the solution to this. Kids growing up 50 years
Higher
ago
and
had
higher,
a pretty easy
yeah.
time planning out the rest of their lives. It all began with a good education. It didn't necessarily mean going to college either.
want
For
that
most
money.
people, a high school diploma was enough to almost guarantee them a good place in society. You've probably heard about what it used to be like. Nearly every job was well paid enough to support a family on just one income. Anyone with enough discipline to put in the work could afford a house large enough to be a family home. Once you were in your 60s, you most likely paid off your house, and your pension would be good enough to comfortably retire. But right now it seems hard to believe that someone like a mailman would enjoy that kind of luxury of wealth. And it's not just nostalgia talking. In 1974, the average postal worker in the US made between $9,500 to $12,000 a year as a basic salary. That didn't include a cost of living adjustment, double pay on holidays, and tons of other benefits. In total, you could clear $15,000 to $16,000 in a good year, and the average home back then was around $36,000. Just 2.5 years of wages could buy one outright. Or you could spend a couple of decades living comfortably while you paid off the mortgage. But it's a different story today. Even the most well-paid mailman earning $60K a year would have to work nearly 3 times as much to afford the same home. These essential jobs, which are necessary for society to keep on functioning, just aren't worth aiming for anymore. What should be a good, respectable career barely allows you to survive. In lots of cities in the US, it would be impossible to even scratch out a living working one of these blue-collar jobs. So people adapted and the bar got high. Nowadays, a college degree or years of specialist training is the bare minimum to find a place in the dwindling middle class. On average, people with degrees earn over $30,000 more than those who only went to high school. But even then, it's no guarantee of success. It doesn't factor in the massive amounts of debt college will put you in, a debt you could be paying off for decades to come. With so many more graduates, there's more competition than ever for a relatively small amount of well-paying jobs as well. It's why companies have become so ruthless and uncaring with how they find their employees. When every job they post gets tens or hundreds of applicants, they can afford to be choosy. Today, nearly all companies use automated systems to reject most of the applications before anyone else ever reads them. If you don't have the experience or put enough keywords in your CV, it's already over. It's put tons of people in a situation where they need experience to get a job in the field, but can't get a job without the experience to begin with. 50 years ago, a high school diploma was enough to put you on the path to a comfy retirement. Today, you might have a college degree and you might be lucky enough to land what should be an exceptional job. But even with all of this, you're still going to be hard pressed to retire before your body simply
probably heating and good water, tap water, but
gives up. It's simply a consequence of the fact that companies don't value their employees anymore. They don't need to, because today there's always someone waiting to take your place if you don't like the deal they're offering. A lot of these problems have come from there being way more people in the labor market. Now there's a bunch of reasons for this, but immigration is one. All kinds of immigrants, both legal and illegal, add more supply to the market. For lots of jobs, they're desperately needed. Western healthcare systems and other vital industries pretty much run on migrant labor. It's gotten to a point where 20% of the UK's NHS staff are first-generation immigrants. For other industries though, the swelling of the labour pool means wages fall or stay stagnant. But it's not just people moving into the country that's making things this bad in the job market. It's companies moving their operations out of the country. So-called offshoring has almost completely destroyed entire industries. Manufacturing, mining, pretty much anything that isn't a service industry left the West long ago. 60% of companies outsource work abroad. Over 14 million jobs that aren't in the US anymore. Even if it makes the customer experience much worse or leads to an inferior product, if it's cutting costs down, then they're happy to do it. With so many other options, it isn't surprising that companies don't care about keeping their employees around anymore. It used to be the case that companies would reward their employees if they stayed in the job. You could build a whole career rising up the ranks of a single company and getting richly rewarded for never leaving. They needed you back then, it was just how it worked. Some companies still operate like this today, but not many. The benefits of a loyal, skilled workforce don't show up on balance sheets. They might have much more efficient ways of doing things, skills gained from years or decades of experience. But because you can't measure something like that, it's hard for a company to know what it had until it's gone. So managers and executives looking to pinch pennies neglect their duties to their employees. Sometimes they just fire them or outsource their work, but a lot of the time they just don't give them the right motivation to stay. It's been a long process spanning for decades, but we can see the results of it now. It's ridiculously more lucrative. It's become so normal for people to jump ship every few years. First is the problem with how hard it can actually be to climb the ladder at most giant companies. Before, when single jobs used to pay enough to let you and your family live comfortably, it was different. If you didn't want to, you didn't have to climb the ranks to make a good life. But now that the only top positions promise that kind of safety, you're almost always forced to keep climbing or searching for something new. Always in a limbo state of insecurity, never knowing if you'll get another paycheck. Today it's far harder to convince your current boss to give you a raise compared to convincing a new company to give you a better starting salary. Workers who stay
at this point, you're better off making up your own work and shit. Be your own boss.
With their current jobs for over 2 years.
Make your own fucking company. For real, many people leave. You're surprised the economy didn't fail. But our tourism and manufacturing keeps us up.
Earn a staggering 50%.
Or tourism.
and less on average than those who switch employers. It's created an environment that rewards jumping ship, as companies don't care about keeping people on either. They'll have no problem firing people who put 20 or 30 years of work for them, as you're just names and numbers on a spreadsheet anyway. It's an especially big problem for people who are towards the end of their careers, as it's much harder for them to convince other companies to hire them. All of these things have made having a job today like treading water. If you don't keep moving, it seems like you'll drown. Even with job hopping though, wages just aren't what they were. Today you'll be lucky if your raise even matches the inflation rate. For decades, wage growth remained steady, keeping up with everything else, but since then it's been a very different story. Now it's not like people are doing less work, in fact the opposite is usually the case. Productivity has steadily risen for the past 80 years. Improvements in technology, efficiency and a larger workforce have made sure of that. We aren't any less hardworking than previous generations. Productivity has only gone up while wages have remained stagnant. From 1948 to 1973, the two stats were in lockstep, both rising by about 90%. Since then, productivity went up another 70%, but hourly wages for employees only rose by a measly 10%. No matter what people say online, in truth, we're not really any less hardworking than before. So where's all the money gone? It's no coincidence that we've got so many more billionaires than ever before. The top 1% have seen their wages grow by nearly 140%, almost 14 times more than the regular person. People who actually keep society running. Which means there's simply less money to go around and therefore less money to save for retirement or ever put in a pension. But even the pensions are worse today. It was recently discovered that 9 out of 10 pension schemes in the UK have performed worse than the FTSE All-Share Index, which tracks the top 600 companies on the London stock market. They've become yet another thing for the finance industry to suck money out of. And when they get their bets wrong,
but like a lot of the billionaires donate money and shit.
It's the regular people who suffer the consequences. And it just means less money for when you can't work anymore. And that's if that day ever comes, as the state pension isn't much these days, but it's still higher than wages. However, governments across the West have been raising the retirement age, even taking that pittance away from the scores of hardworking people. In France, it got raised recently to 64, but that's actually generous compared to other countries. In the UK, it's 66, and it's gonna go up even more. In the US, it's 67. However, before we continue, I want to tell you about our video sponsor A.W.O.L.
There you go.
Closely, and notifications is that it's beginners or advanced blog, and then what be great tool to use. The link in the description below. Pensioners today securing their retirements is through their homes. Homes used to be much cheaper, as we saw earlier. They were simply a way for people to build a life, and the market treated them that way. Since then though, house prices have only risen, making their investments worth many times what they initially paid, even after accounting for inflation. If they bought early, then all that housing money didn't just go to some landlord or some corporation like it does for young people today. Instead, it was yet another way they were directly investing in their future and their retirement. Back then, the principal was small, so it wasn't long before their entire mortgage was paid off for the house, something that's almost impossible for most young people today. Often these homeowners are the ones supporting laws that make building new homes much harder. Enemies of change in any form, they block the building of new homes in fear of the people who might end up living in them. It's a selfish move pushed forward by a small minority of people, but it means that barely any new homes are getting built. After benefiting greatly from the opportunities they had, they've closed the door behind them. But it's not really people who own just one home that are behind the ludicrous rise in house prices. Instead, it's the way that corporations and businesses have used them as financial investments. Over the past 50 or so years, the housing market transformed. It used to be a way for people to get a roof over their heads and build their own lives, but now it mostly exists as yet another place to store money. Tons of that excess wealth made by the increase in productivity has found its way there. Corporations buy up homes and either rent them out at insane prices or just leave them empty while their value goes up. And it all worked out for the people who bought a home a few decades ago, but now it's a big part of their retirement plans. If they ever need money, they can simply downsize once the kids have moved out and pocket the differences, which is often hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it's those who were never rich enough to own a home to begin with, or people entering the market today, that are suffering the costs of this. With how crazy the ratio between wages and house prices has gotten, lots of people will never be able to afford to buy. They'll be stuck renting, watching thousands and thousands of dollars go into someone else's bank account. Rent prices along with housing prices have massively increased. It's something that's only gotten worse with time. The biggest rise in rents has happened recently, and there's no signs that that's going to stop. Between 2019 and 2023, the average rent went up by over 30% across the US. They've outpaced wages across this same time period in 44 of the 50 largest cities in the US, which is yet another example of something that's only...
That America does have fascist Americans? Oh. I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
gotten more expensive in comparison to pay. Rent, food, utility bills, all the essentials have generally gotten more expensive compared to wages. While wages are beginning to catch up to some things like food prices, it's too little too late. 6 out of 10 Americans feel like the economy is in recession, but unfortunately it might just be the new normal. It's because people have been pushed out of the system entirely. Most people's finances are in bad shape, whatever the stock market might look like. Even if it does go up by a percentage point or two, they don't feel it. People
Let's not forget one thing about America. They are constitutional republic, not a democracy. Alright.
are being squeezed so hard that they can't get the funds together to save for the future. A staggering 78% of Americans now live paycheck to paycheck, scraping together what they can to survive. For lots of people, it's only getting worse. Over 50 million are now using food banks, 12 million rely on predatory payday loans, just to see themselves through the week. And what's going to happen when all of these people start entering retirement without anything saved for the future? It's these kinds of societal conditions that pave the way to tyranny, as when people go hungry and they don't have enough for their families, it builds anger and resentment. And we're already quickly getting to a place where there's no point for honest working people to still have faith in a system that has trodden them over and over again. And with more and more people coming into the West, more pressure on government services, a massively aging population that won't be sustainably lifted by Generation Z, it will cause massive tension in the West. And without any hope, people will do anything and support anyone who says they can make things better,
That's crazy.
no matter the cost. Right now, the left pretty much ignores that this is happening, pretending that everything is normal. Meanwhile, the right seems to co-opt this anger and tries to use it for their own purposes. But as we'll see, neither side of the spectrum is ready to deal with the massive societal changes that are about to take place. Automation is coming. It doesn't matter how many people will lose their jobs, it's an unstoppable economic truth. We've already seen it happen time and time again. Nearly everyone who used to work in agriculture, each person could only really make enough food to feed themselves and a few others. With automation, this all changed. Now only around 10% of the US works in agriculture. In countries with far less,
Like, we need to do like robots do all the work and people can just, you know, live. Like, people don't need money to live. That's what we need to do. We need to make robots do all the work, and yeah, and people don't need money to, you know, depend on. That's what we need. That's why in Age of History 2, America is always republic. But yeah, eventually, bro, the robots are gonna take over. We need to just, need to do like, yeah, robots do everything, so we don't really need to have a currency. That's what we need to do.
farmland, like in the UK, it's only 1%. As technology progressed, new jobs stepped in to fill the gap. Most people moved from farms to the factories, but more recently, these jobs have been drying up fast as well. Most of the factories in the West closed long ago, and today they're on the brink of extinction because of automation. It was the reason for 88% of factory jobs that vanished between 2000 and 2010, and now we're facing an even greater shift in the fabric of society. While AI still has its quirks, and can be a great resource for many people, it also has a very dark potential in some ways.
My experience revolution, just like how 18s and 19s begin to change a lot. Maybe.
To wipe out jobs of millions across the economy. But it won't just be factory workers this time, although their jobs are still under threat. The main casualty will be the transportation industry. Driving in some way or another is still the most common job in 29 states. So far it's been impossible for companies to replace them, but that won't last long forever. Soon, AI will be able to replace drivers entirely. Already in places like California, you're starting to see driverless cars. And not just cars, but actual taxis and Ubers. And in tests, automated trucks have been able to detect and avoid obstacles with incredible precision and speed. And the companies pushing this forward expect to have whole fleets of autonomous trucks in just 3 or 4 years' time. Now, of course, this has many benefits. And it has even more benefits for
honestly, yeah, with all the car crashes and shit, mostly all the car crashes are done by humans. Like, they're humans' fault, not like the car manufacturing. We need the AI to drive our cars so there won't happen any car crashes.
The companies. No driver means no wages to pay.
Car crash, yeah. Like, people are so dumb, they're just gonna keep on crashing cars and shit. We need some AI to take over.
and AI systems don't get tired so they don't have to take breaks, which means your parcels can be there quicker, prices can be cheaper, and once the technology is sound, the trucks will be far safer for other vehicles. However, there are still some kinks to figure out, like how well they perform in wet conditions in busy cities or even uneven terrain, but we'll see them on the main highways very soon, and because of this, they could end up replacing over 90% of the 500,000 long-haul truckers working in the US right now. But it isn't just the transportation industry either. Tons of office jobs related to data entry or
it probably costs shit ton of money, which sucks ass.
work will disappear. The legal industry and the healthcare industry will have tons of jobs replaced, because ultimately AI is better than most people. I mean, it's better than most doctors at spotting signs of cancer in scans, for example. Call centers already make you talk to a chatbot at the first point of contact. Some estimates put the amount of jobs lost to AI in the relatively near future at 300 million, up 1/5.
Bro, like, not for real. Like, AI is taking over everything. We need to let AI take over, and then we need to, like, do, like, money is worthless. Or, like, we don't need money. That's what we need to do, because AI is going to take over everything.
All jobs by 2050. So what happens to all of the people who do eventually get replaced? Now, most of them aren't going to fit into another role in society. These aren't people who are going to learn how to code and design these systems, which are the only jobs that AI can really create. Ironically, that's a job that will soon be replaced as well. Now, there is the argument that the jobs technology takes will also create new jobs and replace those. When people stopped using horses as their main mode of transport, cars created a whole new industry to replace them. But we don't know if this will always be the case. The jobs related to AI are far more complicated than most people can have.
That's impossible. Sadly, humans are meant to have opposition against what we suggest. I mean, I guess, yeah. And humans are pretty greedy and shit. Yeah, but that'd be great.
It takes natural talent and years of study to even get started with them. For the first time, the machines that are replacing jobs are smarter than we are. And whilst this has a bunch of benefits, in terms of making our lifestyles so much easier and better with AI, there's the worrying thought of what if we can't keep up with it, as this will mean even less money in the pockets of regular people, which brings us back around to retirement. With all of these jobs soon to be replaced, the people working them will have lost their ability to survive even while they're still young and healthy. Never mind what they'll do when they're too old or too sick to do any kind of work. We've seen that over the past 50 years, the world has become less designed for people and more for machines and the profit they make. The economy will eventually recover from the chaos of the past 2 decades, but we won't see the benefits. It'll take a complete shift in the way the economy is run for current generations to even dream of retiring. But we'll have to wait and see whether people in society can actually cope with it.
Yeah. Alright, well, appreciate the link. There's more? Wait, what? Oh, there is. I didn't. Okay, well, my bad.
Last week, Disney dropped the latest Snow White teaser trailer, and unsurprisingly, everybody hates it. With over 850,000 dislikes and only 70,000 likes,
Disney.
Along with a comment section filled with absolute scorn on Disney, the teaser trailer has become one of the most hated trailers of all time, and the film has become everything wrong with Disney in 2024. And while the movie has tragically been ruined by Disney, it's almost comical to watch them mess up the movie this badly. I mean, for starters, the original version of Snow White was to include Snow White and her 7 magical Force diversity dwarfs, who aren't even dwarfs themselves. And when actual dwarf actors started complaining that Disney was in fact not actually inclusive and dwarfs were excluded for the role as dwarfs, Disney changed their tactics. Now in the new trailer, they have just replaced all of the actors entirely and made the dwarfs CGI, and the results look as you'd expect, absolutely awful. Even though this movie is supposed to be a live action movie, it almost looks like it's completely CGI now. But the question is, how did Disney make the movie this bad?
Bro, at that point, just animate the whole movie, bro.
How did one of the most beloved movies of all time become so despised by everyone? While former fans of Disney have had everything thrown at them. All the worst political messaging, virtue signaling, hypocrisy, and celebrity preachiness shoved down their throats 24/7. And while some could ignore it for projects like The Little Mermaid, Snow White was the breaking point for Disney fans. It all began originally with Zegler's casting. You see, what made the casting choice so bad was that Zegler seemed to actively hate the original film, and approved of everything the studio was doing to alter it beyond recognition.
You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
As promotions for
Like, I don't get it. Like, if you hate the whole Snow White thing, why are you in the movie? Osmond should have been given to Crinkles and make this movie. Real.
the upcoming film began, the young actress openly badmouthed the original movie, infamously calling it extremely dated in its ideas about women and referring to the love story as creepy and weird.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
Everyone suddenly saw that she hated the
You're
film,
weird.
which is a terrible basis to market the movie in and of itself, playing one of the most lucrative roles you could imagine, and then just hating on it. And so of course, the fans of this absolutely hated it. Still, I suppose you can't expect any better from a company that has proved that it has zero respect for the history of the franchises it's purchased over the years, nor the fans that made the franchises so famous to begin with. Walt Disney attempted to do some damage control by making Zegler completely change her personality and sticking her in a room where she had to tone it down and appear all meek, honoring the work of their respective projects. The damage was already done, and everybody could see how fake this PR move was.
But it was, I mean, it's so much fun. Like, it goes back down to the root of why these movies were so successful when they came out, is because they captured the human emotion so well.
Zegler's words were already
like you
plastered
give a
across
shit.
the internet for all to see, and nobody could unsee it. But the backlash to this film is way more than just this casting role. You see, people couldn't understand why the studio had taken arguably one of its greatest creations, the thing that made Walt Disney famous himself, and decided that even though it was highly successful, it wasn't suitable for modern audiences, and therefore needed to change. While Zegler's sentiment was jarring, at the end of the day, they had been enabled by Disney and were just a window into what the studio seemed to think of their original product. The reality is, if the executives truly valued the film, they would never have thought numerous changes were necessary. One of the most controversial changes that I mentioned earlier, and that fans completely bashed Disney for in the comments, was thanks to a comment made by Peter Dinklage, who chastised Disney for making a backwards story about 7 dwarfs living in a cave. Many found it weird that a man who had no issue playing fantastical characters in projects like Narnia, Elf, and even Marvel would suddenly have such a visceral reaction to something like Snow White, but Disney were more concerned about not offending anyone. So the studio decided that the best way to avoid any potential discourse was to change the 7 dwarfs to 7 magical creatures, effectively erasing the iconic characters and the rare opportunities they once afforded.
Like,
People were
what?
upset about the compromise and the fact that the words of one highly successful man had now cost 7 others a chance at success, completely ruining the whole live-action remake thing that Disney was going for. But then when the set photos leaked and everyone got to see the actual magical creatures, people couldn't believe 1, how bad the cheap costume design looked, and 2, that these people weren't dwarfs and were all completely forced in for a diversity quota for Disney. Walt Disney initially tried to deny that the and were all
Maybe this guy. They got only one dwarf.
completely forced in for a diversity quota for Disney. While Disney initially tried to deny that the shots were from their sets, they soon backtracked and claimed they weren't the official
Went with the, okay, I won't shoot myself in the foot. Instead, I will do it on my chests or face.
photos. Now the studio did inform people that the magical creatures would be improved with CGI, but I don't think anybody was expecting the final product, the product that we just got to witness last week. Because as it turns out, the studio's solution to avoiding reinforcing stereotypes was to recreate the original characters with CGI in a hyper-realistic yet cartoony style, reminiscent of what they did in Pinocchio. This comes with Disney completely overusing CGI in their movies, often being used to just replace the work that goes into set design and costuming, thus just making their movies look more cheap and increasingly hollow and soulless. Something Disney has received a lot of backlash on already, and fans are getting sick of it. Not because it's there, but because it's done so poorly that they've made their films just look so clean and soulless. Unsurprisingly, the film looks entirely CG, and it's really no shock that everybody hates this trailer. The dislikes are truly insane for a trailer. And when you watch the trailer, everything from the sets to the dwarfs to the animals has been made to look so cartoonish and oversaturated, making the style just seem incredibly fake and weightless. An issue that Disney has yet to solve despite all the resources it has at its disposal. While the CGI sucks, people can still recognize the dwarfs. Snow White, on the other hand, doesn't even feel like the same person. Sure, she's got the dress, plus Disney's terrible wardrobe malfunction, and she's got the songs, but that's where all the similarities end. Now there isn't much to go off on in the trailer, But if you combine what you see there with the leak that shows Zelga's iteration of Snow White's most iconic songs, the sweet Disney princess is nowhere to be found. There's a very specific moment in the trailer where the evil queen is asking her magic mirror who is the fairest one of all, and the camera pops to Snow White, who wiggles her eyebrow with a knowing, arrogant smirk. It's small, but there is just no trace of the timid, sweet, kind princess people fell in love with. Instead,
Does look good unless you're some nerd gluing your eyes to pixel area and call it horrible CGI.
she's being replaced by someone who seems more brash and challenging. It's a lot more prominent in the leaked footage. In the original film, when Snow White arrives at the dwarf's cottage, she initially thinks it's the home of orphan children and cleans the cottage, not just in hopes that they'll allow her to stay, but because she wants them to experience what it might be like.
It ain't bad, but like it's supposed to be live action though, so like actually have dwarves, not CGI dwarves. Like what's that about?
A mother that would care for them. But that's not so much the case in the reimagining. When the dwarves arrive home after spending all day in the mines, they're not surprised by a clean cottage and food awaiting on the table, because that would conform to gender stereotypes. But instead, they find a woman waiting to instruct them on how to clean their own home. Snow White almost seems villainous in the clip as she hands the dwarves their cleaning materials, particularly as she hands over the broom. Orange light hits her face and her voice comes off in a condescending manner. She seems more like a wicked stepmother using false sweetness to get her stepchildren to do her chores. Snow White then spends the rest of the clip dancing around while the dwarves do all the work for her. This leaked footage perfectly demonstrates the message Disney has been preaching in basically all of its recent projects. The film isn't going to be a battle between kindness and vanity or love and hate, but a depiction of women's superiority over men. It further proved that Disney only seems to know how to write one type of woman these days, the strong female character, and in doing so they ignore and shame an entire group of girls who may not want to be leaders, instead dream of love, value kindness, and enjoy more simple pleasures in life, erasing a character girls looked up to for decades. While the studio has attempted to fix some of the film's issues, it's almost too late to be fixed now, and Disney will have to write this off as a complete disaster. And it doesn't just stop there. Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler were very professional during their first few interviews together. They appeared to enjoy each other's company, with the two often complimenting each other. But it seems something might change between 2023 and 2024 as the film progresses, as people have been comparing Zegler and Gadot since their roles were announced, often calling Zegler the evil queen because of her attitude towards the film, and haters are commenting on how there is no reason for Gadot's evil queen to be jealous of Zegler's Snow White, because they claim the older actress is actually the prettier woman. Now we're not saying this is actually true, but her response to these comparisons just made things worse with the fans. While promoting the film, Zegler often came off as incredibly narcissistic, as any photos she posted were usually just of her. This was in stark contrast to Gal Gadot, who posted a short video of shots with herself, her co-star, and the rest of the crew who had worked on the film.
Bro, come on. She needs to lose all her fan base and come to me.
As was been seen as a final shot, Zegler then posted a tweet where she thanked the fans for their support before declaring Free Palestine. And whilst this might seem like a good thing, with the actress trying to help out the people of Palestine, others saw it as a jab at the former Wonder Woman actress, who's an Israeli actress, and very vocal about her support of Israel. Because of this political rivalry, it seems Disney backtracked on a promised D23 presentation and removed Gal Gadot from singing scenes from both the films and the teaser trailer at the last minute because of her support for Israel. And so she started backing out of interviews and diminishing her press tour appearances. But maybe because she also secretly hates Zegler. It's almost impossible to know, but it seems like the key actors are also falling out. And if the actors start hating each other, the fans hate the movie. The entire thing's constantly changed with just CGI, and nobody has any passion for the film left. This will make Snow White one of the worst films ever made, as it just seems like this entire project has been one massive failure. There's clearly a massive lack of love and passion for the project. They should have been doing all it could to honor the original, not just for the sake of the story, but because of how foundational it was to Disney's success. It's almost poetic that the film that changed the landscape of Disney is now the one destroying it.
Like, how hard is it to copy a movie, bro?
Alusta kooli soodsalt koos Jyskiga. Säästa kuni 60% sisemööblilt, tekkidel. Fantast. Hüvast. Välkmüü.
Zin might just be the addiction of the future.
Oh no, bro. Yeah, imagine doing Zin, bro.
These small pouches of nicotine, flavorings, and filler are sweet.
Another cancer like vaping.
vaping across the world, with sales increasing by nearly 80% in the past year alone. It's a craze that's been fueled by social media, with everyone from the biggest celebrities
losers,
to
man.
random people promoting them online. The advantages seem endless to smokers. They're far less harmful than tobacco, easily concealed, and they don't make any smoke or vapor. With big tobacco monopolizing the market and ramping up production, it doesn't look like there's any way to stop this new addiction taking root. So let's explore how Zyn is taking over the world by storm, and what the sinister consequences of this could be. As when you start peeling back the truth, you realize how dangerous this might be. The rise of Zyn in Sweden would create the template for a global campaign of addiction. But first, we need to understand where they came from in the first place. Despite the fact that they seemingly appeared out of nowhere, Zyn and other nicotine pouches aren't exactly a new thing. It has its roots in a tobacco product called snus, which has been consumed around the world for hundreds of years. Its spiritual home though is in Sweden, where centuries of tradition has seen it outcompete smoking tobacco as the most popular method of consumption. Back in the day, people would take a small pinch of this specially made powdered tobacco and keep it under their lips as it slowly released nicotine. Beginning in the 1970s, manufacturers like Swedish Match took control of the market by offering the tobacco portioned into a small sachet, each with a controlled dose of the drug. A few decades later, when the technology to extract pure nicotine from tobacco was perfected, the entire industry was thrown on its head. By 2006, the first vapes had entered the US, and it wasn't long before they were everywhere. A few years later, and you can't walk 10 feet without seeing someone hit the device or smelling the sickly sweet clouds drifting by. With their apparent health benefits compared to tobacco, it wouldn't have been a big leap to expect vaping to replace tobacco smoking entirely. But the arrival of Zyn has led people to ask whether vapes were just another stepping stone on the path to perfecting the addiction. In Sweden, it's been a different story. Through pervasive anti-smoking campaigns, as well as a cultural appetite for other methods, the country almost eliminated tobacco and other nicotine products from their country. Strong laws against marketing the products kept big tobacco from fighting back. People hoped that as the other ways to consume it slowly died out, that Sweden would become the first country to actually kill the nicotine habit for good. That was until a Swedish Match found their ideal product. As the largest Swedish tobacco company, a nicotine-free Sweden would almost certainly mean an end to their business. So when so-called white snus came along, it was a godsend for them. By taking that pure nicotine and replacing the tobacco with it, they could make a seemingly harmless alternative that could take the market by storm. These new products launched in 2016, and Swedish Match were quick to take advantage. While laws prohibited marketing tobacco products and vapes, white snus seemed to be free of these restrictions. Now, marketing has always been an easy game for tobacco companies. Other companies whose products aren't chemically addictive have to constantly prove their worth to the consumer. If someone else offers a better alternative or the customer simply doesn't want it anymore, then you're out of luck. But that's not true for nicotine though. Just a few tastes or a week or two of habit forming and they've got you for life. Once addiction sets in, the product sells itself, and the nature of addiction means nicotine customers are unusually loyal to their chosen brand. This is why when tobacco companies are allowed to advertise, they almost exclusively—
Like, that is fucked. Like, they're hoping people get addicted to their product, and so they get money.
Target new smokers. Each marketing campaign is that much more effective.
Any company who does that, bro, that is fucked up.
Because each person who convinces—
They only chat poison the cigarettes because they can easily say that will kill you. Okay, I mean, true. They are literally saying like you will get cancer. True.
Is likely to become a
At least they're
lifelong
not hiding
customer
it.
whether they like it or not. Swedish Match and their competitors went straight to work advertising their new product to the young and impressionable. Companies would give the product out for free to lure in new users, putting out internet ads that would send people free pouches with just a few clicks. Or they do it in person, staking out places—
Bro, that's what they that's what they do with drugs and shit. They're like, oh, you want a free snippet of cocaine? You get addicted and then you buy more cocaine. But that's literally what they do with drugs and shit.
This is where young people would gather. That can mean at conventions, festivals, or even more disturbingly, outside playgrounds.
I thought it looked good, and I wanted to try. I just kept going. There you go.
Yeah.
And it's hard to stop. I'm kind of stuck.
And the results were quick. With the marketing beginning in 20—
That just proves a point about humans. We don't care what it does to us as long as it tastes and feels good. Yeah. Bro, that's fucked.
2017, it only took 3 years for the use of snus to overtake smoking in young people. Decades of progress in stopping the use of nicotine were reversed almost overnight, with tons of young people taking up this new addiction. Swedish Match, who had the most money to throw around, were very
like just chewing a piece of gum or something, bro. Like, why this, bro?
well positioned to corner the market, buying out competitors and securing basically a monopoly. You can see why nicotine pouches might be appealing to young people. Smoking and vaping are far less discreet. The smell can give it away easily, you can't do it in front of people without them noticing, and everyone has the image of smoking with cancer. Whereas products like Zyn are almost invisible on the other hand, meaning kids can indulge in their new habits all day without having to sneak off to the bathroom.
Iga sentimeeter mu nahast väärib armastust, nii et kui raseerin, usaldan Veenust. Uue kauakestva skin cushion tehnoloogiaga, mis aitab kaitsta mu nahka ärrituse eest. Ja paksemate karvade ja tundlikuma naha korral seal all, Veenus intiimpiirkonna jaoks. Minu nahk, minu valik. Veenus.
Harvem ja masinateie pesemisel säästad elektrit. Aga mida kauem riided pesemist ootavad, seda rohkem plekid sisse kuivavad. Ariel Extra Clean kapsel pleki eemalduse jõuga eemaldab mustuse, nii et masinatäis riideid on laitmatult puhtad ja lõhnevad fantastiliselt värskelt. Ariel Extra Clean, hoia lastele kättesaamatus kohas.
Every half hour.
If you become a dictator, I will enforce no smoking. Also, did that say... nah, it said Venus with a V, not with a P.
Combined with the fact that they were easy to get and easy to use compared to the alternatives, it made their popularity inevitable, and people would have no idea about how truly bad this was, like they do about smoking cigarettes. And that's why Big Tobacco was quick to notice this massive opportunity to afflict even more people with an addiction to their product.
Hey, I'd rather be down bad than doing this shit. Embarrassing, bro. You want what?
Never cared what form the nicotine they sell comes in, as long as it's addictive. They've only ever cared about creating new, lifelong customers. So when white snus spread across Sweden like a wildfire, they noticed.
At first, Swedish Match made the operation international. The product had been imported and sold in small numbers a year earlier, but in 2017 they began a nationwide rollout in the US. It wasn't cheap to even make the stuff in the US. They needed to upgrade and pretty much rebuild one of their factories in the country, a project that would cost over $100 million. But once you start adding up the numbers, you can see why they did this. Each can of Zyn, a container which holds 15 of the pouches, costs about $4, but heavy users could easily go through a can every 2 days, all year round. And this really adds up. In 2017 alone, the year they were introduced, Swedish Match sold over 13 million cans of Zyn, and the other brands outside of Scandinavia. A year later, as more people were introduced to it and got addicted, this nearly doubled to 25 million. The scale of growth was truly insane, and it got even crazier. By September of 2019, they were selling 20 million pouches, or around 1.3 million cans every single month in the US alone. Once the factory finally opened that same year, they started selling even more, and by 2022, sales had gone up by 700%. Zyn continued to dominate the market for these products, never losing the over 50% market share lead they had taken earlier over
the... like, I don't get it. Like, why not ban, like, highly addictive shit? Bro, it's all capitalism. Bro, this shit is horrible.
Competition, which is why the brand had exploded in growth and seemingly came out of nowhere. Now, while Swedish Match might be over 100 years old, these were the kind of growth numbers that only the most successful tech startups see. So just like any other startup, once they had the product and the market controlled, they sold it all off. And who better to step in than the masters of addiction themselves, the largest tobacco company in the world, Philip Morris. In late 2022, they bought out Swedish Match in their entirety for an eye-watering $16 billion. But the only thing they were really interested in was Zyn. And this deal might end up being one of the most lucrative deals ever made. If Zyn and other nicotine pouches keep growing as fast as they are, they'll replace vaping and eventually cigarettes. You see, Philip Morris could see that cigarettes and vaping were becoming outdated. Nobody in Gen Z really wanted to do this stuff anymore. There were so many regulations, you couldn't advertise properly, all the reporting on the health consequences, the popcorn lungs, the lung cancer, they needed something to pivot fast with. Which is why Philip Morris didn't just buy 51% of the company, it was a complete buyout of every single share. They wanted it all, and you can easily see why. With that dominant market share, Philip Morris doesn't really need to do anything. With how heavily controlled traditional advertising is for nicotine and tobacco products, there isn't any danger of someone else taking the throne. Addiction makes people take the easiest route possible to get that fix, so if they know the brand, then they'll buy it. It means this deal could give Philip Morris an almost complete monopoly over nicotine products, stretching far into the future. Of course, that'll only be true if Zyn and other nicotine pouches really catch on.
But what's making them so much more popular than vaping or smoking? Ever since they finally couldn't cover up the dangers of tobacco, the health effects have been the Achilles heel of the tobacco industry. They don't care about the actual suffering, of course, it's the optics and the appearance of selling an addictive, deadly product that hurt them. But Zyn so far at least seems like the least harmful alternative. Old-fashioned snus and other products with actual tobacco in them cause cancer. They're terrible for your health.
Oh, that's the old ones. What about the new ones, though?
As we know, Zyn doesn't do this. The fact...
Oh. Let's not forget the product does not consume his own product. Oh, producer. Wait, how do you know?
That unlike with vaping, you don't actually inhale anything makes it at least marginally healthier. And while it might not kill you, it can ruin your day if you use it incorrectly. People who've let them sit on their tongue have reported being knocked out for the entire day, or feeling incredibly sick from the nicotine overdose. But to be clear, the negative health effects are the same as any other nicotine product. We don't know the long-term effects, of course, but it seems like it would at least affect the gums, for example.
Yeah, the
Leaking
gums.
chemicals through a specific place in your mouth all day, every day, surely can't be healthy. And it's also a highly addictive substance that can mess with your blood pressure and is a known carcinogenic. But there's no clear reason that it will be any more harmful than some of the government approved.
Look at Mark Zuckerberg. He doesn't. I mean, yeah.
Alternatives like
But how do you know? This guy could be on Zyn.
Nicotine gum. And the benefits are clear. Even in the worst possible case, it's far less harmful than smoking is. In a perfect world, Zyn could save a ton of lives by helping people quit smoking. But unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. It isn't Zyn itself that's the problem. Some people are always going to use nicotine in some way. And that's not to say we should ban it. We shouldn't control what adults want to do with their lives. And so far, Zyn seems like one of the safest options. But it's the way that it's being pushed onto younger people and the damage this is doing to society in the future that's the real problem. Thanks to Zyn, tons of people are getting more and more addicted to nicotine. And as time has gone on, the sales of the highest concentration pouches have risen much faster than the others. It shows people are needing more and more to satisfy
their promoting Zyn, bro.
Cravings. Moving on to the stronger stuff as this happens. It isn't just ex-smokers using this as a safer alternative and to eventually cut down. It's becoming its own addiction. This is the danger. Not smokers using them as a replacement, but people who've never had any kind of nicotine.
We should control adults, prove them smoking. Rare L Moon. Wait, what? Oh, like adults control children more? I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Children are dumb and they could do it secretly. Like you said, it's easy to do it. Easy to not notice that you're using it.
Getting addicted to them. One of the ways this happens is through their cultural buzz. If your friends are all trying them and there's peer pressure to try them, lots of kids are going to cave in and try it.
Yeah, because I mean, kids are dumb as fuck. If most of your friend group does it, you're probably gonna do it. Kids are so dumb, bro. I ain't letting no peer pressure get me. This is why you support.
Pressure doesn't just come from in person, a lot of it is online.
Truth is, Zyn is a powerful work enhancer. And also, if you know what I mean.
Really? Yeah. Talking erection, huh?
alusta kooli soodsalt koos Jyskiga. Säästa kuni 60% sisemööblilt, tekkidelt, patjadelt, peeglitelt ja hoiukastidelt. Osta ka e-poest jysk.ee.
No election fraud was Zyn.
Like pretty much anything, Zyn has its own community of influencers on TikTok whose whole online personalities revolve around them. It's a mixed bag of your bog standard embarrassing TikTok content. There's plenty of videos of people just popping them or in general talking about them.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, Jinxie.
Oh, it's like a twister.
Come on, bro.
What?
But a lot of the time the content is talking about upping the dosage and almost competing over how much you can take, with a bunch of people talking about taking multiples at a time. Then there's the so-called Zynfluencer showing off their massive collection of MD Zyn containers. There isn't any indication that these are sponsored posts, but Philip Morris, the tobacco giant who now owns Zyn, has done it before. They came under fire as recently as 5 years ago for paying young influencers to promote their dick.
What better suck a dick and lick a pussy?
The products. The idea isn't to outright sell them, but to show them alongside influencers. Along with the online buzz has come claims about how Zyns can help you focus.
focus, or help to make you sharp for work and studying. And there is some truth to this. Nicotine has been shown to increase the levels of some neurotransmitters like dopamine, which has a very beneficial effect on brain function. Anyone who's tried nicotine can attest to the buzz you get the first few times as well. It's almost similar to caffeine, which is also an incredibly addictive drug. But one part of why nicotine
Bro, you're better off drinking coffee, bro.
is so addictive is that the buzz quickly fades, with people barely feeling anything after just a few weeks of regular use. It very quickly becomes a matter of just taking it to feel normal, rather than getting any sort of effect from it.
We were two drugs on top.
The only way you can do that is by increasing the dosage. Kids taking these things to get a buzz quickly have to take stronger pouches, often lots of them at one time, just to get that buzz again. Zyn and other pouches put nicotine straight into the bloodstream, so people who use them can quickly build up a massive tolerance to nicotine without ever even knowing it. If they ever try to stop, it makes the withdrawals that much worse, and if they switch to vaping or cigarettes, they'll need far more of them to get the same effects. This is just another hidden danger of Zyn and other nicotine pouches. We've already seen through studies that if people start vaping without any prior nicotine use, they're 3 times more likely to take up smoking than other non-smokers.
Yo, you start with Zyns, you start with vapes, then you go to smoking cigarettes.
And we can expect that Zyn has pretty similar effects because the active chemicals are completely identical. All of the worrying about just how harmful they are misses the bigger picture though. We're currently watching as Big Tobacco, which was losing customers every day for decades, it's once again getting its claws into the next generation. And it's really working. Big Tobacco...
Can I judge you though? I mean... Nah. I mean, bro, people are dumb. But still, you gotta chill out.
Tobacco is creating a whole new generation of addicts, making nicotine popular once again, risking the health, increasing the chances of cancer, and other fatal illnesses by getting Generation Z hooked on the stuff. It's just going to add on to the long list of addictions that Gen Z and Gen Alpha have been exposed to at a very young age. At least with smoking, it's pretty inconvenient to do it all of the time. Only the heavier smokers would be puffing away all day. But because of how Zyn works, it means kids can be walking around with invisible nicotine IVs stuck in their arm all day, massively raising their risks of heart attacks and cancer. Just slowly poisoning you day by day, and making it seem cool with nice branding and a whole bunch of influencers promoting it. Just like the phones, it's created a world where people can constantly be feeding their addictions. We've already...
What? Nah, brother.
already seen what this is doing to young people's attention spans and their general mental well-being. Kids already can't focus in class anymore. Teachers constantly talk about how each new year is worse than the last. And adding Zyn into the mix makes each new generation the heaviest addicts history has ever seen, all whilst destroying their mental and physical health, with one of the most infamous toxic substances becoming mainstream once again. The tragedy is that once you get addicted to nicotine, it pretty much lasts forever. The chemical need actually fades in a few weeks after you stop, but the mental addiction never goes away. You always know it's there, just waiting for you.
Well, something much more valuable, but not surprising. The other team.
But you have to ignore it. It does get easier with time, but it never really leaves. However clean or convenient they can package nicotine, it's still one of the most addictive, carcinogenic, toxic chemicals known to man. And whilst we may not know the exact effects of Zyns, all we can see is that it's addicting people to nicotine. And the societal harm of having a whole generation of addicts isn't something that we can measure. Making nicotine mainstream once again is a terrible sign of where we're headed. And with the explosive growth of Zyn and the snail's pace of actual regulation, this is going to be a major problem that we'll have to deal with soon.
Yep.
Zyn might just be the addiction of the future. These small pouches. The Olympics used to stand for peace. From its creation of
I'm the definition of half right and half wrong.
The 2,000 years ago to today, it was the best alternative to war and bloodshed. A way for states to compete and fight for dominance without the chaos and suffering of war. But the Paris Olympics have undermined this principle even more than before. Looking at the Olympics today offers only a grim reminder of the divisions in our world. Politics and propaganda dominate sport and fair competition at every single level. So let's find out how the Paris 2024 Olympics was transformed from a release valve for political tension into just another way for governments to drive the knife in deeper. It isn't anything anything new for states to use the Olympics to push their own propaganda and their own political aims. It should be contained to the competition itself, but it often ends up revolving around everything else. In the 1936 Berlin Olympics, Germany used their turn to host to spread their propaganda and prove their own racial superiority. It all fell flat on its face when the American Jesse Owens took 4 gold medals against Germany's best athletes. In 1980, when the
Just listen, I am.
Olympics came to Moscow at the height of the Cold War, America led a movement to boycott the event, and 60 other countries joined them. The results were clear. The Soviet Union cleared up in a lopsided competition, and even the best times and records were far below the average. At the next Olympics in Los Angeles, pretty much exactly the same thing happened. This time it was the Soviets and their satellite states refusing to attend, and yet again the quality of the games themselves suffered without the full range of competition. The US were happy though, as they didn't have to compete with their biggest rival, allowing them to make a ton of money, all whilst advertising their own ideology to the world. Which brings us to today, where the diplomatic gulf between two sides of the world is still leaving its mark. While most countries have been present this time, Russian athletes are still noticeably absent. Russia were already in hot water over their state-sponsored doping scandal.
Lõhnan halvasti. Vennas, kasuta lihtsalt Old Spice'i pulkdeodoranti ja lõhnab võrratult.
I'm good, bro.
Athletes from nearly every country have been caught taking steroids, but when they're given to athletes by the state itself, it's another matter entirely. But it's clear this isn't the only thing that's gotten them kicked out. When it was just the doping, the Olympics still let them compete, just with stricter checks and under a different name. It was a change that didn't really do anything in practice, except for punishing Olympic athletes from Russia. When it was decided that this was still too close to the country itself, they became representatives of the Russian Olympic Committee instead. But most recently, in response to the invasion of Ukraine, they've only been allowed in as individual neutral athletes. Even then, only 15 of these neutral athletes have attended. Now that they've been pushed completely out of the picture, the Russian state effectively declared that any Russian competing at the Olympics is a traitor to the nation. The Olympics have been scrubbed from their TV channels, and they're pretty much pretending they don't even exist at all. It's hard to think of an alternative for the Olympic Committee that would work in this situation, but it's still a sorry state of affairs. Russia has the
It is only Olympics.
third most medals in history, and yet their absence has made tons of events in the 2024 Olympics much less competitive. The biggest blow is to Russian athletes though, who have been forced to choose between the safety of themselves and their family or the sport they've spent most of their lives mastering. But it's also a worrying sign of just how bad things have gotten between the world's great powers. It shows how close to the edge of conflict the West and Russia truly are. The other world powers have also been pushing their own personal vendettas through the Olympics. China, for example, can't stomach people referring to the reality that Taiwan is and has been for decades a separate country. Instead, by throwing around their diplomatic and Olympic weight, they've gotten the Olympics to rename Taiwan to Chinese Taipei, which implies they still own the island nation themselves. The Taiwanese
Chinese Taiwan. That's what it is.
flag is also banned, as well as any political message about Taiwan or their very real independence. It doesn't just extend to the staff and the athletes though. One Taiwanese fan held up a completely innocent sign saying "Go Taiwan," and it was almost immediately confiscated.
Wow. Oh man, bro.
It's a consequence of politics that Taiwanese athletes can't represent their own country. Instead, they have to take the name given to them by their potential future invaders.
No, you can say kill yourself now. Interesting.
They can't even hear their own anthem when they win a medal. Instead, it's just a song that the Olympics made up for them. The ease with which China has smothered and erased Taiwan's national identity is a very disturbing sign of what they could get away with in the future. It seems stupid to think that this propaganda would actually work and people would forget Taiwan as its own country.
Yeah.
But the longer this goes on, the more accepting
Like, bro, you took that away. Oh no, it's not a country anymore. Like what?
people will be of this new reality. It's a chilling reminder of how the world could accept Xi Jinping's one China policy. How much further would the world go to appease it? There's already an ongoing war in Europe that threatens to spill over and spark a major conflict, and it remains to be seen whether the West would actually put up a strong challenge if they did invade. The further China can push their propaganda and have it accepted by the rest of the world, the more comfortable they'll get with the idea. France has also taken the opportunity to push their own values, although they haven't gone nearly as far as China. One controversial decision revolves around certain religious head coverings like the hijab. France is perhaps the most secular state around. The separation of the church and the government is so wide that anyone who represents the state is completely barred from wearing any religious symbol or clothing. But the law does also apply to French athletes, all the way from school competitions to the Olympics. As representatives
Wait,
of
no religion. Wait, that actually makes sense because Olympics, it's not religions.
state themselves, they're also banned from wearing religious symbols and clothing, with the rule only really affecting Muslims and the hijab. It's hard to say what the real reasons for this ban are. France insists it's just part of their cultural values, but it really only affects Muslims. Human rights groups across the world, as well as the Olympic Association themselves, seem to take the second opinion. But despite their protests, the ban remains in place. It is a strange case of selective enforcement. Religious symbols might be banned because of whatever harm the French government thinks they could cause, but somehow child predators are still allowed to compete. If people didn't think it was part of the French campaign to stick it to religion, the opening ceremony only added more evidence. The strange inversion of the Last Supper in the ceremony was acted out by drag queen disciples and a naked blue Jesus. It seemed like it was specifically designed to annoy religious conservatives, despite France's later announcements that it didn't have anything to do with Christianity. It's a flimsy defense. Just watching it makes it clear they knew exactly what they were doing. There's no way the people involved making it didn't see the obvious parallels to the famous Da Vinci.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just disrespect to history, man.
Painting. But what's either just as important or even more impactful than what happens in the Olympics themselves is the social media discussion around them.
Don't worry, China won't easily beat Taiwan, but not because America, its ally. And Taiwan has a big... Yeah, it's difficult to invade it. I know that. It's a fortress, it's a small is beneficial. Yep.
Controlling what people think and feel about the games and the countries involved is far more important for propaganda. It's just one way in which the sport itself has taken a backseat. Countries like Russia, who've barely sent any athletes to the games, are still highly involved in manipulating what people are saying about them. A common tactic that we've seen is for troll farms and Russian bot accounts to post as many hoaxes and rumors as possible. Most don't work, they get ignored by the masses, quickly disproved, or rarely make a dent. But the sheer amount of AI-created images and fake news articles is more than enough for something to eventually work. Sometimes though, social media does the job for them. A key example was when controversy erupted over an Algerian Olympic boxer accused of competing in women's boxing while being biologically male. Russian bots spread around the story, social media influencers and celebrities jumped in, and soon there were over 10,000 posts about it every single hour. It didn't have anything to do with being trans. Instead, the athletes had a rare genetic disorder that can affect things like testosterone levels and other hormones. Regardless of where you stand on the debate, the Olympics has a lot of work to do in setting clear rules and making sure every competition takes place on a level playing field. And it's a shame that these social media arguments will overshadow lots of the actual events and the personal stories that came out of the Olympics. It shows that the campaign of lies is working. If it isn't lying, it's cheating. Just like every Olympics in living memory, doping has also been a problem at Paris. Most recently, China's swimming team has come under fire for numerous allegations of using performance-enhancing drugs. Back in 2021, 23 of them tested positive for a drug called TMZ.
Well, them, when they have a problem, that gives it beneficial. I guess, wouldn't that be like... Nah. I was about to say a paralyzed Olympics, but that's like an advantage. That's the opposite. I don't think that's a thing. Advantaged Olympics. That'd be interesting though.
Which improves endurance by letting more blood flow through
I guess, yeah.
The heart. China said they hadn't been using it as a drug. Instead, they had apparently all eaten contaminated food at a restaurant. It was an explanation that the Olympics accepted, while also sweeping the whole incident under the rug. And it brings us to the current Olympics, where China continued to excel. Coaches and members of other countries' teams like Australia have accused them of doping, saying that their results and records are inhuman. Whether it's doping or just skepticism though remains to be seen. But if the Olympics will deny an entire country exists for China, then you can imagine they might be more lenient in other ways as well. The internal game of cat and mouse between drugs that are harder to detect and more accurate testing will keep going. Without harsher punishments for the countries getting involved in cheating, nothing will change. Ultimately, the prestige and propaganda points a country gets for winning far outweigh the consequences of getting caught. So much of the Olympics is focused on appearances and the petty squabbles of nation that it distracts from the sport itself. Countries will do anything they can to disrupt the games while making themselves look better. But if you think back to previous Olympic games, that isn't what people remember about them at all. In a year's time, nearly everybody will have forgotten about how many medals each country got and where they were on the table. Instead, people will remember the individual stories and the magical moments that came out of the games. They'll remember Turkey's effortlessly cool shooter who didn't bother with all the lenses and special goggles, while still carrying on to take silver. or the insane millimeter finish to the men's 100 meters. Those things are what's truly important about the Olympics, and if you can see past all of the nonsense, then you can truly enjoy it for the special event it really is. It doesn't mean everything's perfect or even that good compared to previous competitions. At this rate, the next Olympics in Los Angeles will be even more of a mess of clashing ideologies and manufactured controversy. But as long as it doesn't infringe too much on the actual competition, we'll still get hell of a show.
Alright, that was the last link. Appreciate the links. Yes, I'm sick. It's only me and you. Is there any point of Jackbox? I don't think so. Yeah, no Jackbox. Oh well. It is what it is. Sad. Yeah. Sabian had to do something. And Raj has guests. And turn. Son in our ass. Wait, what? We get a walking corpse if we kill someone? Wait, that's actually cool. Wait, I fuck with that heavy. Oh no, stay there. Dead by Daylight is finally adding FNAF. Springtrap a killer, Sun out there survivor. Ah, hell no. They're gonna ruin their game even more. Classic Dead by Daylight. The fuck? How you missed that? It's not bad. It's bro. Got no money. Do that. You can't. Why did you go right? You gonna be here a bit more? I appreciate it. Dog. Bro, give me kills so I can turn him undead. What is this? Can you? Can't move. That reinforcements are really helping me. Man. Bro, I can't. I actually lost. We're back from the raid, Drogon. It seems like we made it just in time. More humans, we need more fighters to squash them all. Let's retreat. But alright, Melon, I should have cured all the spots. I can't believe you let that necromancer corrupt you. I suppose part of this is my fault since I let you into Pathan, but still, since I showed on mercy, I'll show you yet the same. I'm banishing you from Pathan. Fine words, Drogon. Would you rather have left the orcs overrun the town? Aye, better than that, than to even dabble in dark magic. We would have rebuilt this place like always, even if I died. Least I wouldn't been with dignity. Too bad the mages didn't teach him more sense. I only did it to protect what I care about. Is this really what I deserve for saving your hides? Yes, yes, it is. Nobody will support you on your crazy path to depravity. We should all be glad to see you gone, Necromancer. I detest having fought by your side. Della, sister? Well, you can't support on this one, Della. Bro, what? What's wrong with these fellas? I guess you're right. You decided your magic is more important than us. Malin, I can't help you. Begone, Malin. I have no wish to see your face around here ever again. Nah, bro. L town, bro. The fuck? Now kill him. No? Oh, I ain't reading that. In truth, I share your hatred for the orcs. The Northernlands have been my home for many years, and the orcs have been growing infestation in recent times. They despoil the beauty of the land wherever they go, hacking and burning everything. Hacking? Okay. Without care or concern, if you are... Yes, these orcs have threatened my friends and my home for too long. It's time I gained the power to put them in their place. Yes, perhaps removing the threat of orcish rage will persuade the people of Perith to welcome you back. But for now, I must train you. The orcs are powerful in the hills, strong enough that even I dare not confront them directly. Then what shall we do? Strike at them where they are weak. A goblin village lies in the valley, just ahead. They are the bastard children of the orcs, feedable creatures individually, but annoying enough in large numbers. Subduing them will provide us a supply of fresh corpses and souls to use against the orcs. It will be a worthwhile test of your skills. Why did that scare me? Can I change the hood though? The hood is kind of small. I ain't gonna lie about that. Statistics? No. Preference? Or is there a... Oh, I could zoom in with G and E. What about the hood scale? What's this? The battle for Wesnoth. Well, I can't really zoom. The fuck? Oh. There you go. What was the battle going? Oh. Good. Vampire bats. Which one's better? The corpse is better. Hexagon tile? Fuck wrong with that? Ah, I did not realize there was a swamp near this village. Mailing it would be beneficial for your training if we were to investigate. No, Roger's back. I see the village. Let's get more corpses. Army of corpses. No? Okay. Alright. You got links? Alright. Well, there's so many zombies we have. Save. Add those sound effects. Alright, bro. What? Eyes up, stay sharp. Get music on. Well, is there any music in the fucking pictures? The fuck is... Oh, TF2 is perfect game for children. Okay. I mean, yeah, that seems like it's for children. I ain't gonna lie. Overwatch, we will ban you for using emotes and playing as a single character. TF2 barbecue. Okay. Something different. What's the most annoying thing in GTA Online? Gotta be griefers, yeah. But the actual duck? You can say fuck. Which country is Germany? Am I tripping or... Oh, I'm not tripping. No, I am tripping. I thought it was black, yellow, red. 1 and 3 is Russian. Yeah, I was tripping. Nah. What's wrong with spam? Wait, there are what? I didn't see. Oh, there is. Oh.
Alusta kooli soodsalt koos Jeskiga. Säästa kuni 60% madratsitelt, patjadelt, voodipesult, tekkidelt, kardinatelt ja sisemööblilt. Osta ka e-poest jysk.ee.
Anti-tank rifle.
What in the world is that?
Who's Tedredy?
This is my 20mm anti-tank rifle. Looks pretty old. Oh yeah, it's pretty old. It was made around World War II. Yeah, seems like a great idea. How about your ammo? I'm sure you've got some fresh ammo for it, right? No, actually, I have some original ammo, and this is about 100 years old. You know, you're not the sharpest crayon in the shed,
that
are
blows
you?
up.
Your 15-inch neck scar isn't tingling or anything. You're not having, like, second thoughts. Now, I don't really see a problem at all. Wait, what are you doing? I'm calling an ambulance.
Yeah, he does this whole skit and that happens.
I need an ambulance sent to my location. I don't need an ambulance. No, I don't need to know where to dig. I think you called 811. No, I need an ambulance. Right now.
Why would you laugh? What if he actually dies this time?
The largest guns I have ever seen in my entire anti-tank rifle. So just for comparison's sake, today I brought out a Barrett.
Oh, to weight? I think 70 kg. That's normal, right?
M82A1. This thing has a 20-inch barrel and is chambered in 50 BMG, which is a gigantic round. But this gun, compared to the Solarthern looks like
no muscle.
A deer rifle. This thing right here weighs roughly 120 to 130 pounds. It's about 7 foot long, and it's chambered in the Solartherm 20 millimeter round, which is 20 by 138
Yeah, I'll stick mine.
millimeters. Okay, so let me just show you what we're working with here. This is the Barrett 50 BMG mag, and that is not a small magazine. That is very large, but when it's compared to the Solartherm mag, I mean, it just dwarfs it. And then here's your top view, and that is a pretty big difference. So the 50 BMG mag holds 10 rounds
Waste
of 50
of air is
BMG, while the
crazy.
Solartherm holds 8 rounds of 20 millimeter, and it is a semi-automatic rifle. Now the 50 BMG has 660 grain rounds, while the 20 by 138 millimeter is packing a 2,330 grain round. So now let me show you the 20 by 138 millimeter, 20 millimeter round compared to some rounds you may be familiar with. So here it is compared to a 22 long rifle, 50 BMG, 700 Nitro
Why you put
Express,
that
that's
small
one of
one
the
on
largest
the
safari cartridges
right
in the
side?
world. 338 Lapua Magnum, 30-06, 223, and 9 millimeter. And for those of you who are not around firearms that much, here is the 20 millimeter compared to a Kimmel soup can, and here it is compared to a 12-ounce soda. And yes,
The
it's
fuck
soda,
is Mellow
not
Yellow?
pop, not cola, soda.
Soda.
And if you also love Mellow Yellow as much as I
You're a
do,
dildo.
hit that
Okay.
subscribe button. And if you don't like Mellow Yellow, well, you should hit that subscribe button anyways, because we got some good stuff here.
Never heard of
All
Mellow
right,
Yellow.
It's finally time to shoot this thing,
Sounds
and
like
I would
piss.
be lying to you if I said I wasn't just a little bit nervous, you know, due to past events. But I am
Yeah.
also very excited. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this firearm while we load it. So this thing has a very, very stout spring for the recoil system. So stout that you cannot pull it back. So this thing has a literal bike chain inside it and a crank. So your crank is right here, pulls out, and then you literally just start cranking it. We'll do 1, 2,
Someone who didn't like
3,
tanks, I don't know.
and now it is all the way back. But before you shoot it, you have to return this back to the starting position. So now you'll go backwards, 3 cranks, and then you're ready to go.
Oh, emo.
Here's a closer look for you.
Well, Twitch.
That is what pulls the bolt back. A literal bike chain. You may be thinking this thing is going to have a tremendous amount of recoil, but sadly, I don't think it's going to.
Yeah.
Because of its weight, its muzzle brake, and it has a reciprocating barrel, it actually tames the recoil quite a bit. So that kind of makes me sad, but I still think it's going to be a blast. You have two options for your...
Well, I made the first one. Third one's, or was it me? Can't remember. I think it was me, yeah.
sights. You have iron sights, which that just flips up. And then you have a scope here on the side, and this one is actually still crystal clear. So I'm gonna put the mag in now, but we're gonna have a little bit of a surprise when I do.
None were you? I mean, why? What?
That's one of its nifty features.
Why would I have an emote of you?
As soon as you put that mag in, it's gonna load the first round. But after you go through your entire 8-round mag, it will lock the bolt back and automatically eject the mag. And I'm sure you may notice that the
By
berm
you didn't make any emotes. What do you mean?
looks a little bit different, and that's because we had to take
Small
extra
dots.
safety precautions when shooting this gun. When it comes to rounds this
At least
big,
it's some.
you do not want to shoot at anything angled, even dirt. You need a flat surface. So, came out here with my tractor and gave my berm a facelift. Normally I would just lay on the ground, but I am oh so sweaty, and I do not want to pick up a bunch of dirt and grass. So I'm gonna lay on a piece of cardboard today.
Piece of cardboard? That ain't gonna do shit.
Oh, yeah. Get situated here. Okay, let's ride the lightning. Holy cow!
Damn.
how I will prove that I am worthy of the best guild.
I mean, there probably is a program.
Oh, man!
Oh my
There
God!
has to be. I mean, all you have to do is make an image. Like a small image.
Dude! Okay, it ejected the mag.
I think it's possible.
That is stinking awesome. I totally just fell in love. Something I failed to mention about the Solar Thorn, you'll notice here this trigger is absolutely huge. It's actually a 2-finger trigger. Not one finger, 2, and it is very stout and takes a very long time to pull it back. So that means you better have some flinch control because you have to keep those sights lined up for quite a while. All right, ignore this hole. That may have been when we were making sure the gun was safe. Just take a look at this hole. Spray painted a big circle here. I was aiming about here. We hit right there, and I have to tell you, that looks pretty deep. That's a big old hole. I mean, get my whole arm in there. So this gun is pretty old, and from what I understand, it has not been fired much, and ammo is not exactly easy to find. So I want to know if these rounds are good enough to actually get this thing to cycle. So I have 3 rounds.
APK.
And we're going to take another whack at it.
Yep.
Now watch my fingers. You definitely don't want them anywhere near that bolt when it closes.
I've used it as well. Thing just popped out.
Holy cow, dude. Holy cow. Ejected the mag. Look at the ground.
True,
right here,
it does kind of look like that.
where this bipod is digging into the ground. Look at this side over here. Just eating the dirt. But
PixArt modded.
sadly, she not be kicking. Okay, I think I have established that the gun will function 100%. I am tired of shooting dirt. Let's just take a few shots at a few targets and see what kind of energy transfer we get out of this 20 millimeter. That mag is already just out because I only loaded 1 round. Okay, let me get lined up here. I'm gonna use the scope this time.
Education isn't.
It's kind of hard to get up on it.
Facts, yeah. Yeah, pirate ain't hard.
Honestly, I'm surprised I hit that. Shooting 1 5-gallon water jug definitely was not
Next
enough.
link, what?
But
it just
we
got
still
more
put
interesting.
one heck of a whopping on that thing. Okay, I hit here and blew out the side. So I'm thinking I'm hitting a little to the left.
Wait, it
Actually,
didn't
I
go
was
through.
wrong. Looked at the slow-mo footage. Turns out I hit to the right. So this time I'm gonna aim a little bit to the left, and I'm gonna be shooting at a 4-inch cinder block, which honestly, that's literally like a piece of paper to this 20 mil. Let's see if we can actually hit this thing.
It's a water jug. Get it right.
Holy cow.
Jug has handles. Didn't that literally have a handle?
I'd say we hit it. Also, I'd say my earplugs were not in all the way. So at this distance, it looks like I am hitting about 5 inches to the right and a little low. So that time I aimed at the edge of the cinder block and I almost hit dead center. We pretty much turned this to gravel. No
How do
problem.
you know, George? That's
now
a
I'm kind
different
of curious to how much concrete we could actually make it through this thing, but that's for another day. I do have one more target for today's video though, and I'm pretty excited
That'd
about
be a
it.
cannon at
So
that point.
our last target is going to answer an age-old question. What would a 20mm anti-tank rifle do to a zombie?
Yeah,
Little
zombie.
cicada shell. Those are always
No,
fun.
there's
Now,
different
get this thing loaded
Georges.
up one last time.
There can't be only
Such
one
a big
George.
mag. Okay, let's see if my Kentucky windage is true.
Waste of ammo? Nah.
Oh, wow!
Waste of ammo if we shoot it in the air. Holy.
Okie dokie.
Now that's a lot of damage.
I'd say I hit it. So I was aiming very high and to the left. I was almost aiming above his head
They made
to
a
the
whole
left.
ass hole.
We still managed to hit the cheekbone on this side. So I know that my consistency with these rounds is a little bit off, but still, we did a
You can
lot
survive
of damage.
that.
We painted this berm, and I
was a
feel
zombie head,
like
not a
we're
human
about
head.
to open up a portal to another dimension from all these rounds of 20 mil hitting my berm.
Well, I wouldn't recommend. 90% of you would survive.
Well, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about the 20mm Solitherm in the comment section down below. And let me know what you'd like to see me do with it next. Did you...
Hold the street, move.
What?
Can't secure yourselves within the industrial center. The city's lost.
Think about what?
Nexus and Atenga reporting. We were discovered. Command is screwed.
What? Can he bring him back though? Oh, no, he's dead. Down. W Jibbers. Some respect. Stealth 100. That's his set. Yeah, what? Never mind. Better than Gotcha. Definitely.
Who's there?
Two reference, yeah. You got the mercs as well. Or the engineers. I mean, they're part of the mercs. Yeah. Oh, I should probably wrap it up. the raid for Jackbox. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. Who that? Oh, no. Feel like I'm gonna regret it. What? Brother.
Look at the medallion. Look at me in this other medallion.
Why you link me this guy?
You moron!
Yeah, you moron. This ain't no Fortnite. I ain't no Fortnite player. Alright, whatever. No raid. Why not? Bro playing Fortnite. Why wouldn't I? What? I wanna see you rage. He wouldn't even recognize. He got way too many kids watching. Hey, but anyway. Love all your mentals. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. So peace out and a good night.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Hey, I'm not that guy, but I am that fella.